What is up, guys? So today I'm making a video on how to choose the right rate in the Navy. I keep getting questions about choosing rates and like what should I do, what's best for me, all this stuff. And honestly, I feel like that's a little bit too much pressure for me because I am not in your shoes and I don't know what your hobbies are, what your skills are. So I'm just going to break down how I chose my rate and certain resources that you could use to help you get a better idea of what you want to do. So in this video, I'm gonna go over how to find the job descriptions, like the schools that you would probably attend, and like the outlook for after the military. So if this is just temporary for you, you can know what you can expect to do afterwards. And also I'm going to throw in there like advancement and pay so that you have an idea of how good the advancement is, because I feel like for me personally that's a big factor in which rate I choose, because you could end up being E3, E4 for like your entire time, or you could end up making a rank pretty quickly and at least having decent pay. So we're going to start off with the most basic thing you should know before picking your rate, and I am going to screen record this and show you guys this website. So the first website, I'm going to put the link in the description also, but Navycool, you could go to a Navycool website, go on explore military occupations, go on ratings, and then it'll show you pretty much every rate that's in the Navy. I'm going to pick Sonar Technician because I was a Sonar Technician. And then once you get to the page, there's a brief description. You could see just advancement stuff, which is for more like when you actually are in the military and you want to know what to study for like your test. But you could also go to the rating information and you could see the school, how long is the school expected to be, what you'll be learning in the school, a brief job description. It's a little bit more detailed than the overview. And you could also go to programs, and this helped me specifically because I had multiple C schools, so I already knew that I was going to be in school for like a year and I was going to be in San Diego, and that was a big deciding factor for me because I had the AECF option, which is like FC, ET, all that, and they pick your job, and the SCG and then some other stuff. But a lot of the jobs were technical jobs and they're in Great Lakes, and I'm like, do I want to be in Great Lakes for like 8 months to a year, or do I want to be in San Diego for a year? And that was a really big factor for me. I know it won't be like that for everyone, but my job also had good advancement and it's pretty chill, so I don't regret it. But that's the first method to finding out at least what the job is and if you would like it, what type of schools you'll be going to, all that stuff. And also going along with the Navycool, if you go to the left side, you will see that there are options like military occupations, civilian occupations, all that stuff. You can click on civilian occupations and it will show you what type of jobs that your job will pretty much give you skills for. And you could also click on these jobs to view more information. You could see like the median salary, all that stuff. So if you are only choosing to do this for 1 contract, 2 contracts, you can see potential jobs that you could end up working afterwards if you want to stay in that field. Navycool, I would say, is probably one of the best things. There's people that I met that's in the military that don't even really know what Navycool is. So knowing what it is before you're even in and making a good decision based off of your own research will help, especially with your advancement, especially with your career opportunities, because you know what to expect. All right, and now this is the last thing that I'd advise you to do. So after you've looked at job descriptions, looked at schools and lifestyles, maybe did a little bit of research on maybe YouTubers or other people that are doing these jobs that have videos online, and kind of narrowed it down to a couple, I would say if you still are having trouble figuring out what exactly you might want to do, you can type in Navy quotas on Google. Usually there's an all hands article that pops up. You could go to that, click on active duty results, and then yeah, these websites are kind of weird. Oh, those are names, those are not the quotas. It's a good thing I'm not doing this live. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it this way. This way isn't always as good because like for some reason it's not always on one picture, and sometimes like you'll find like 1 year and like you won't find a year. but you can go to just Google Images, look at the advancement quotas. You can see all the rates, their percentages, how many people are in the rates, how many people are eligible for advancement, stuff like that. And you can get a pretty good idea of what you want to do. Like HM, 4.78%. That means you could be a really good HM and still possibly not make rank multiple times just because there's so many of them. You could go to some rates like my rate, STG, 100% automatic E4, as long as you don't get in trouble or anything and you finish your school. There's a few other ones like OS is pretty high, MM is pretty high. So those jobs will at least guarantee you making E4. You could also look at the ones for E5, which I'm just going to type in E5 because I think that would make it easier. I don't know what cycle 248 was. I think 248 was last cycle or the cycle before. But you can see for E5 the like percentages change a lot because that's kind of like a glass ceiling for some rates. But like ABF2, 6.99%, that's pretty low. But then CTR is 100%, GM's 45%, HM2 2%, that is extremely low. IS 47%. Like you don't have to base your decision off of like, oh, I'm going to make rank really quickly, but it depends on the person. Like me, I want to make rank really quickly because I wasn't going to get married. I didn't want to live in the barracks, and I was also in college with a job before I joined the military, so it's like I don't want to be paid like a teenager my entire career. And the pay jump that you get from E4 to E5 is one of the biggest pay jumps in like the rank structure, because you get your housing allowance, you get all your other housing, or you get your housing allowance and you get all your other allowances, plus you get extra, I think it's like $300 or $400 on top of your pay. So it's a pretty big jump. So the time it takes you to get to that could make or break how you feel about your pay and your enjoyment, especially if you don't like your job anyways. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I did to help me narrow down the jobs that I wanted to pick out, and I ended up going with Sonar Technician. And I would say if you want to do that, it's a chill job, pretty good advancement, it's nice overall. It can be boring depending on your personality, but I liked it. And this method should, at very minimum, trim the fat around your list if you have a big list, and help you narrow down to like a few choices or maybe even just one choice. So like, comment, subscribe for more. I am actively answering questions in my comments all the time, so comment if you have questions, comment if you have video ideas or things that you would want to see next, and I'm out.